Hey, what's up everybody? So in this video, I'm going to give you a tip for learning any new technology, whether it's a new programming language or a new framework for that language or any kind of tool, any technology. So there's a phrase, I think it's something like necessity is the mother of invention. Um, and I would argue that necessity is also the mother of learning. And I say that because let's say, for instance, that you don't know any JavaScript and you need to learn JavaScript really quickly, specifically for something web related. So let's say you have to build a blog application, and that's like a really simple example. But so you have to build some type of application that allows a user to sign up and post some type of like blog post, and then it can have comments or something like that. And it doesn't have to be JavaScript. It could be Ruby or Python or PHP. It doesn't matter what language or what framework. You just have to get it done and get it working. And so let's say you have a deadline where you have to have this thing working in 48 hours. And I just thought of something. I'll come back to it shortly. But anyway, so you have a deadline. It's almost like being at a job and having to get something done. Even if you don't completely know how you're going to get it done, you have to get it done. It has to ship. It has to be in the client's hands, or it has to be going to quality control, etc. So putting that pressure on yourself to figure out whatever it is you're trying to learn will make you learn whatever it is very quickly. And you see this in a lot more areas of learning other than programming. So like, let's say you have to learn a new language. And the only way you can communicate with people is if you learn that language. Well, you're going to learn that language a lot faster than you would if you don't have a timeline for it, you don't have any pressure, you don't have any requirements. So the same thing goes for programming. Give yourself these fake timelines, these fake project scenarios. Say, okay, I have until next Monday to have a working blog made in JavaScript. And then do everything you can to figure out how to make that work. You're going to be Googling like crazy, which is awesome because you're going to learn how to use Google effectively. Stack Overflow, of course, will be part of that because most of what you're going to find is from Stack Overflow or from blogs or from documentation. If you're not good at reading documentation, you'll get good at it very quickly because that's probably where you're going to spend most of your time. I mean, if you really had to do something like that, let's say you didn't know anything about Express.js, which is a framework for JavaScript, for Node.js, that allows you to build, among other things, web applications. You could just use the documentation for Express.js because it's actually pretty good documentation. And within 48 hours, even 24 hours, a couple days, however long you give yourself, you could have something up and running, even if you didn't know anything about it beforehand. So my daughter's ripping apart this book. So I'll have to figure that out in a second. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. What I was going to say earlier is you see this a lot in hackathons. So if you go to a hackathon or if you've been to a hackathon, then they give you a project scenario and you have like 24 or 48 hours to crank something out. And you learn a ton. You get on a team with a bunch of smart people and everybody contributes what they can, and you spend a lot of time learning and then providing whatever knowledge that you already have, but at the same time learning from other people and then reading up on things very quickly. And you end up with these end products that are not perfect, but that's not the point. You get something that's working and you also learned a ton from it. I remember Colt Steele, the guy that taught me how to program, and probably if you're coming from Udemy, you've taken some of his courses. He told me a long time ago that whenever he wants to learn something new, he just signs up to teach whatever that technology is in like a month. So he ends up giving himself like a month deadline to learn whatever it is and teach it. And I've actually been in situations like that where, like, let's say I was kind of good at Ruby on Rails or Rails Ruby language with the Rails framework, and then someone asked me to teach a course as a lead instructor. Turns out I was actually yeah, yeah. Yes, is that fun? Anyway, so to wrap it up, yeah, I ended up saying yes, even though I didn't fully know everything about Ruby on Rails, and it didn't matter. Anything that I was lacking in, I learned the night before, the week before, and having that pressure of not only having to learn something, but turn around and teach it to other people really helped me learn it very quickly. So I would say on top of everything, to take away from this video, is if you want to learn something new, then give yourself a project with a project deadline, like next week, or a couple days from now, sometime very soon in the near future. That way you have the pressure to learn whatever it is. It doesn't have to be perfect, just get it working. Use the internet like crazy, Google like crazy to get it working, to learn whatever you have to learn to accomplish this task. And the bonus on top of that is if you have the opportunity, teach it to somebody else. So find somebody, and even if they don't care about programming, say, hey, would you allow me to teach you? She has a lot of good tips too, so listen up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Find somebody that you can teach whatever that thing is to, and you will learn so much faster. So if you really want to ramp up on a technology or a language in programming, or really anything, it could apply to a lot of areas of learning, then those couple of tips will help you big time. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.